There are only a few pens in the world that get more love than the Aurora Optima. I picked this one up secondhand. I was looking for this particular version of it a few months ago, and I instantly knew exactly why it gets the love it does. It is a phenomenal pen. It's a simple pen in a lot of ways. It's an elegant pen, and today I'm going to do a review of it for you. So we're going to talk about parts and features, we'll do writing sample, all that good kind of stuff. But first, please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and consider becoming a member of this channel, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get early access to my videos and priority comments and messaging and that kind of thing. And it all helps support this channel and keep it going, and allows me to continue to get things like this pen to show you. But right now, let's check out the Aurora Optima fountain pen and see what it's all about. So here is my Aurora Optima. Those people who have been following my channel for a while have seen this pen a few times and might know a little bit of the backstory. I had wanted an Aurora Optima for a while, and I had decided the Optima over the 88 simply because of the flat ends, which is my preferred sort of design. And I did a bunch of research to find the version of it that I wanted, because there are some absolutely stunning Optima pens going around. You know, like there's that one that Hemingway Jones posts about a lot recently, the Solo Mio, which is gorgeous and very Italian. But when I saw this version, I knew this was the one I wanted. This is the Nero Perla, or Black Pearl, Auroloide, which is their sort of specialist sort of material, which is absolutely stunning. So the Nero Perla was first introduced in 2012, and it hung around for quite a while, but I think now I don't think it's continued anymore in their sort of setup. So, you know, I had to get it secondhand. So I set up some alerts in a few sort of places around the web, and it took about 8 months, I think, until I got an alert for this, to find one, and it popped up at an antique shop online, and I bought it. So this is a secondhand pen, but it came basically as new. Like, it still had like all the tags, everything. It was from a collector, and so I feel very glad. And it was also in a fine nib, which is sort of what I wanted, because I wanted an everyday writer, and this is a lovely everyday writer, and I wanted it to be inked with Aurora Black, because that is a lovely black, and so this is the perfect one. I don't like to match my pens that much. So I can get blue pens, I can get green pens, I can get black pens a lot of the time, because those match the ink colors that I use. That is the pen. Let's have a quick look at the packaging. This is the box it was with. So it's the Cento 1919 to 2019, 100 years of Aurora. Take that off, you get the nice box here. You take that beautiful lid off. I love these little hinged boxes. Then the nice sturdy box here. And open that up, and beautiful branding, all that kind of stuff. Just really, really lovely. Lift out the base there, and you get like the little information book, all that kind of stuff. Beautiful packaging, nice and simple and clean. So let's talk a little bit about the Aurora Optima. Now, as I said, this is one from, you know, this is a not older model, but not a brand new one. But the main sort of logistics of the pen haven't changed, which is great. So you get a flat top, you get a little black acrylic end here. You get the inbuilt clip, which is firm but definitely usable. Nice big ball of metal on the end there. The cap swells, and we get to this lovely Aurora center band, Aurora Italy there, which is very cool. Step down onto the barrel. The barrel continues and tapers, and then we get a ring, and then the piston turning knob. This is a piston filling pen. So, you know, great. It is a twist cap, and it comes off in just over one turn. And I have to say, it posts incredibly securely. When I talk about pens that post well, that I like writing with posted, like some pens I can write posted or unposted. Some pens I prefer to write posted. This is one I prefer to write posted, because the weight is perfect, the size is perfect, and it posts just so beautifully and deeply. I love it. You get in there, you can't quite see it, but there's an ink window, then threads, and then the section which tapers, it has a big flare on the end, and then the 14 karat Aurora nib there. And as I said, it's a fine, and there is the feed. As I said, it's a piston filling pen. So you put the nib into a bottle of ink, past that point, you turn the knob on the end here and a piston runs up and down in the pen and sucks the ink up into the pen. I have made videos about that filling system showing it in action, and I have a new one coming out in a couple of weeks. If you're not familiar with that filling system, just search up how to fill a piston filling fountain pen or something on YouTube here or on my channel, and there's a lot of information about that to be found. So an interesting feature about the Aurora Optima filling system is it's got this thing called the extra ink reservoir. It's not really an extra reservoir. Basically what it is in the end of the piston, there is a little like divot. And in that divot, ink can be collected. It's like a little gap in the end of the piston. And when you're writing and you run out of ink, if you're, in a meeting or something, you can wind the piston down so it runs all the way down to the end of the pen. And that end goes over the end of the filling tube, basically. It's a very simplified version of it all I'm giving you here. And the last drops of ink are forced down into the feed so you can write for a little while longer. It's a useful thing. It's a bit of a novelty, a gimmick maybe, but useful if you need it. For the size comparison today, I've got it alongside the standard Lamy Safari. And then here is the Caran d'Ache Laman, and mainly just because I haven't shown it enough on my channel and I think it's a stunning pen. So you can see it is on the smaller side. Like, it's not a big pen, but it does post to a very sort of comfortable usable length, but it is definitely shorter there than both the Caran d'Ache and the Lamy. When it's uncapped, it's not that much smaller. It just feels slightly smaller in the hand, but it is just like maybe half a centimeter shorter than these guys. And then posted, it's still shorter, but it's a really very usable length. Like, it's not as small as, say, a pocket pen. It's bigger than things like the Sailor Pro Gear, but it is on the smaller kind of size. Definitely bigger than things like the Kaweco Sport, even at its posted length, is much shorter there. So it's a full-size pen, just on the smaller side. Specific dimensions of the Aurora Optima, it's 126 millimeters when it is capped. It's 124 when it's uncapped, so you only lose 2 millimeters of length there. And then it's 151 when it's posted, so super, super comfortable. Around the section is about 11 millimeters, so it's got a nice girth, and around the body is about 16 millimeters. The pen weighs 22 grams, so it's not super heavy. In fact, it's quite lightweight. 14.5 in the barrel and 7.5 in the cap. So as I said, this is one of those pens I prefer to write with posted, just because that extra weight, that extra length make it feel very comfortable. And this is a great everyday writer for that. I always keep this inked with Aurora Black because it's a useful ink, and a fine nib because it's a useful nib size. That's what I wanted, and I found it to be perfect for that use. Now, ink capacity, I was able to get about 1.1 milliliters of ink. So that's not a huge ink capacity, given the fact that it is a piston filler. I think the maximum capacity was 1.4 or something I saw somewhere. I can't exactly remember. So not a huge ink capacity. Bigger than most converters, but not as big as like some other piston filling pens. Let's do some writing with this pen. We have the Aurora Optima. This is, as I said, the Nero Perla or Auroloide material, which is black pearl. It has a fine 14 karat gold Aurora nib, and it is lovely. The ink in this is Aurora Black. Super good ink. Not a waterproof black, but a super nice, dark, wet, everyday black ink. You would hear there in that writing sample, there is a bit of feedback on the nib. I think that's standard for Aurora. Like, even my Talentum has that. It's pleasant. It's less than Sailor, in terms of feedback, but it's very smooth. And, you know, it has a nice wetness to it as well. Like, it's not a gusher, which I am grateful for with this pen. Reverse writing, very fine, but very smooth, very doable. Not a flex nib. Just because a nib is gold doesn't mean it's soft. There's a very slight bounce if you apply some pressure, but it's definitely not designed for that. And for me, the strength of this nib is the fact that it is a nice, consistent sort of finer line. We'll go with some fast writing now. Totally illegible, but you get the idea. Reliable, smooth. I love the way this pen writes. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous writer. It's really creeping up in my estimation. Now, I've had this pen inked for months now, multiple times, just re-inking. And once this fill runs out, I will probably give it a little rest just so I can swap other pens into my lineup. But I've not had any ink starvation. Like, when the ink runs out, the ink runs out, obviously. But in terms of when the pen is inked, it writes consistently, smoothly. There's no hard starts, nothing. It's just a gorgeous writer. This is one of those pens that people, you're talking about a pen that gets everything right. I kind of feel like the Aurora Optima is right up there with getting as many things right as a fountain pen can. Will it be for everyone? No. Is it for me? Definitely. Okay, let's talk about the business side of things now. Now, as I said, I bought this secondhand and I got it for around 500 Australian dollars, which seems like a lot of money, but I don't think it's too bad. I was happy to pay it because of this particular version that I wanted. So when the pen was released, they were about almost $800 US, which is considerable. Then I think it was about 2016, they readjusted the price to around just under $500, and now they sit around the $600 US mark for a standard new Aurora Optima, or some of the nicer versions of it. So that's, we're pushing 900 Australian dollars there. So it's not an inexpensive pen. At 500 Australian for this one secondhand, I was over the moon, to be perfectly honest. It ticked all my boxes. It was a version I wanted at a price that I could justify, and given the writing experience and the enjoyment I've had from this pen, well worth the money. So what are the pros and cons? Okay, so a neutral here will be the size. For some people, this pen model is too small. For other people, it's just right. For me, it's kind of just right when it's posted. I find that very comfortable. I enjoyed it a lot. Other cons, the price. It is expensive. It is a gold nib, and it's all in-house, and Aurora, it's Italian, so that jumps up the price, all those kinds of things. But if you look around, these do come up on the secondhand market quite a lot. The fact that it only took me months to find for the version I wanted to sort of come up at a price I was happy to pay, very happy. Some people may also have a bit of an issue with the amount of feedback on the nib. I don't mind it. But there's lots of pros. Firstly, the material is lovely. It's got a really unique sort of texture to it. It's not super smooth, but it's not rough. You can feel the material, and I should say it's got you won't be able to pick it up on the camera, but there is branding on the barrel there. So, it is there. But it's just got a lovely feeling to the material. I love the color here. This is very me. So I'm more than happy with that. I like the weight of the pen. I feel it it's lightweight, but it's still sort of substantial. It doesn't feel flimsy or anything like that. And then of course, the size of the pen is good for me. I like it in this format. I like the fact that the section has a nice sort of girth to it, so it feels comfortable in the fingers. But ultimately, a fountain pen is about how the pen writes. And for me, that is the first most important aspect, and this one writes beautifully. It's smooth. It's wet enough, but not super wet. And with that nice wet, if it was any wetter with Aurora black ink, it would probably be too wet. But what I love is that it's just so reliable. every time I pick this pen up, it writes, and it writes beautifully. So if I'm writing my journal, if I'm writing a to-do list, if I'm writing a letter or whatever, it's just a lovely everyday writer because it's not too big in the hand, it's comfortable, it's consistent, and that's really what I look for in a pen. If it doesn't write well, what's the point of having it? So thank you for watching my review of the Aurora Optima fountain pen. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful pen. It's a great everyday writer, and it's a pen I really, really enjoy. And I know a lot of you do as well, because a lot of you comment about this pen all the time. You know who you are, and yeah, I can see exactly why. I think we all can. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and yeah, consider becoming a member of this channel. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.